Hi! Today I think I want to show you how I fill my journal. Basically, there are no rules, but since you're here, I'll share it anyways. But first, I want to introduce you to my previous journals. This is the current journal that I have. Please ignore my nails. I have not manied for like 3 weeks. I'm getting it done soon. This is the current journal that I have. This notebook is from Muji. This is a yearly planner. It's the coolest notebook I have so far that I've used as a journal. But let me show you the ones that I have before. The reason why I started journaling was because of Nathan Drake, the titular character for the video game Uncharted. He has his little notebook that he keeps with him throughout his adventures, and that's where you can get your clues from throughout the game. And I was inspired by it, and I got myself a journal. This was actually my first journal. I got this back in 2015 maybe, or 2016. It's from Valentina Handbound Books. You can customize it. I have had this customized by putting this quote here from Uncharted. It's made from leather. It also has an, like, I don't know if you can see it. It has this little S embossed here. One of the customization available. I'm not sure if everything that you can do with this is still available now, but because it's been a while since I last bought something from them, but you can still check them out. As mentioned, this is my first journal. This was used originally for my travels, but I repurposed it to my everyday musings and transferred my actual travels to this one. This is also from Valentina Handbound Books, also made from leather, and you can customize it as well. So another sick Parvis Magna and my name embossed here, but it's kind of, I don't know if you can still see it. And then there's a garter that is used as a lock and a charm. I picked a camera because I like taking photographs. I chose this one as my new travel journal back in 2018, I guess, or 2017. It's because it's more slender and you can pick as much as these bad boys inside. So when I travel, I only have like 1 or 2, but you can fit as much as, I guess, 3 or 4 maybe inside. So you can do it like that. I don't use this anymore. I've filled at least 3 of these fillers, but I use my usual journal that I use for the year. I'll explain why later. But yeah, these are retired, and these are my 2022 and 2023 journals. These guys are brown because Nathan Drake's journal was brown, so that's the only reason, and also because brown is one of my favorite colors. So for this one, again, it's for my everyday musings. There are totally random things here. These are from 2017. If you can see, there are teared up pages here because the earlier pages, I couldn't fill this one alone because I've decided that I don't want to use this for travel anymore, because I've decided to use this one instead. So I teared up a few pages and transferred them here and here, and some other pages more. So these for 2017, some images that I printed from Instax, movie tickets. I don't really write that much before, so it's mostly just images and printouts. It's not much here. I just paste whatever I feel like it, and if it brought happiness to me that day, I would paste it here. That's the entire gist of me journaling from 2017. I definitely think that it shifted some years later, and if you can see, it's almost just movie tickets because I've watched a lot of movies. That's just it. A lot of movies to remember. That's mostly it. for this. I don't write much. Let's skip to the travel bit. Okay, so for my last Nathan Drake, I don't think I call my travel, because I don't have a specific journal for traveling anymore, but I am thinking that I will again. I will explain later. So these were my first fillers for this notebook. This is 2016, I guess 2015. Papers from travel, some thoughts, stickers, printouts, sketch attempts and whatnot, boarding passes, stuff like that. It's mostly just like that over and over and over. I definitely don't take journaling that seriously before compared to what I do now with my journals. Definitely different. So I did not was not able to fill this out because this was the end of 2017, and then this was the start of 2018. So we have 2018 and 2019 for this. It used to be like this pace. So the thing that I don't enjoy much with this setup is because a whole boarding pass takes the whole space. Eventually I discovered that I am not a fan of that, because compared to what I have now, so for example, right, boarding pass takes this and I can write and paste whatever thing in this space. For example, from my Sydney bit, there's that, I can still write, and there's still space after the boarding pass. So I prefer sizes, notebooks or journals with this size, the normal usual notebook size. So that's why I have retired from using this type of notebook with this size. I think the biggest change from the earlier ones was the thoughts that I started to write. I've definitely trusted my journal more and more. Started writing whatever was in my head, what happened that day. Some guides, for example, where is it? Like this one, this was the map where we used to stay for Airbnb, and then thoughts, and then things that I did, receipts, concerts, itinerary attempts, but mostly just, you know, sketches are there, and painting attempts as well. I definitely did not know how to use washi tapes before, aside from just using them as tapes as is. I used to take Instax very seriously through the camera, but now I just print because it's quite consuming to do, and films are expensive. So there you have it. That is that's what my travel journal looks like for the 2020s when we were allowed to travel. This is my 2022 journal. So from 2022 I started journaling, tried to journal seriously, more seriously, complete with thoughts, not just pasting shit all together in a notebook. But I've actually written a lot during this year. Years after, it's more of very unserious at first. For example, this is just Stan Twitter on paper. I've written reviews as well in my journal, which is nothing to be like, it's nothing special, and it's definitely something that I recommend to just write whatever you want to write. So it's basically this one, but these are all book reviews, if you would believe me. I don't do that anymore. I try to do that, but you know, sometimes my mind is occupied, so instead of writing book reviews, it's just writing my thoughts. During 2022, I was able to travel to South Korea. That left me with nothing to write on because everything was in here. These were the times when I was in Korea. That day is Korea, then Korea, I think, still. But since I still use my travel journal for that, I was not able to do anything here because the rest was in here. Korea, some memories, printouts. And then when we had, or I had, my second travel for the year of 2022, it was around November. And I thought I would paste the boarding pass here. See, I thought that maybe I should just use my usual journal to use for traveling, so I can fill this entire thing until the year ends. So that was the goal for the next year, for the year 2023. It's to fill every single page of the journal, because I wasn't able to do that here. For example, there, it's blank. Some other blank pages as well. Here, this is blank. So I don't want that to happen again. 2023, I still used this one for excess pages, because for the year 2023, I did promise myself that I will use my yearly journal for my travels as well. So I did that, and now we have this from our Japan travels. I was able to commit to my promise, but since the pages are limited, I was still able to use this one for the other tickets and other souvenirs that I have, other flyers, tickets, business cards, receipts, stuff like that. I still use this for my Taiwan trip, but I cannot fit in here. Went here. All of my 2023 travel still has some pages in here, but again, it's mostly access from this one. 2024 is different because of the notebook that I have. So say goodbye for these for now. Maybe they'll return later, I'm not sure. So for the year 2024, again, this notebook is from Muji. The yellow notebooks were from Ogle Store Korea, but they're closed now. This journal has monthly calendars up to the 12th, actually up to January of the next year, but I covered it to use as the vision board for this year. So what I like about this is it's bigger, a lot more space, which I thought would be a challenge for me earlier this year, because for each week we have like the dates of individual days, and then there's a blank page in here, so I can use stuff and whatever here, which is very useful for when I travel, because here, this is from when I went to Japan to watch the Eras Tour concert. I was able to paste everything here, but this is my Japan, right? Since it has a lot of pages, there are pages after the month of December, so I was able to dedicate a page for the Eras Tour, some sketches. Instead of using the other Nathan Drake journal, I was able to use all this notebook. So that's what I like about this. Recently, this notebook is getting a lot heavier because we're still in June. We are in the middle of the year, but it's getting heavier already. I have proposed to myself to use a separate notebook for traveling again, but it would be a lot smaller, and I was thinking something that I can tear the pages easier so I can transfer them here. So it's either a notebook or pieces of paper, maybe. I'm still not sure what I want to do, but I have these old notebooks. This is for watercolor. This notebook, just plain, but you can tear the pieces or the pages easy. It's either one of these, or I have this one that I bought from Tokyo. It's a traveler's notebook. It's very small. It's literally the size of your passport. So this is the passport. This is a passport. Look at the size of this thing. It's really super small. My bigger Nathan Drake. I think I will call this Nathan Drake as well. But I don't plan on using this permanently because, again, I would like to have my memories all together in this notebook. So their version of one of the notebooks that they have for watercolor, it has terrible pages. Not terrible. Terrible. Not terrible. Terrible printable pages that you can just rip out and then do whatever you want with it. I like the quality of the paper too. It's thicker. I've already done the tearing part. I tried it with, where is it, when I was in Sydney. See, it's not finished. I'm not really talented with the drawing and such, but I still try. It's from these, so I'm not exactly sure what I plan on doing yet, but I think for my next travels I will just bring this one or one of these, so I can still write whatever I feel like writing, if I do feel like writing, and then, you know, stick them somewhere here. So that's my plan for now, but I'm not traveling until how many months later? This year, hopefully.